Greetings, my fellow servants of the God Emperor. It's the Ash Heritor. Welcome back to Rogue Trader. In the previous episode, we discovered a abandoned palace on an ice world where we found a corrupted noble that had eaten his entire court while being under the influence of a halo device, which granted him unnatural and indefinite life. We cut that short, and we currently have the halo device, but Cyrene is not going to be putting that on. I don't know what happens if you do. At some point, I might do a heretic playthrough and give it a try, but for now, I don't feel like putting that on. It's an incredibly good item. One might even say it's too good. And only Cyrene can equip it, which makes me a bit concerned. So, that's just going to be what it is. So, we're going to be heading back to the capital. Mundus Valancius. Here we go. At long last.
Lord Captain, we have found the trail of the elusive contempt. The ship was sighted in Latosian's passage. If we go after the pirates right now, we can catch them before these arrogant scoundrels slip away.
Okay, so that's a time-sensitive mission. Latosian's passage. Where in the Emperor's Black Void is that? Latosian's passage. That's Lapidus. Looking around. I hope it's close. There it is. That ain't far. We don't have enough Navigator's Insight to do that, so we're just gonna have to do a double jump over and hope for the best. A mysterious sickness struck the clan living in one of the macro cannon chambers. The disease quickly spread, causing the afflicted to writhe with unbearable stomach cramps and expire after several days of agony. Before the officers could react, the neighboring clans took the issue into their own hands and flooded the chamber with carbon monoxide. The macro cannon was put back into service, and the vigilantes were punished for subjecting the rogue trader's servants to mob justice. Yeah. I don't know, maybe it was the right call. You never know. Diseases and quarantines. Alright, well, there's the pirates. We're going to go for them straight away. We'll check what's on this dead world. Some unidentified ruins there, but we're going to take these pirates out. Okay, a pirate flotilla has gathered in a system with an especially prosperous extraction. The Augur crew reports that all the void ships share their signatures with the elusive contempt. You hear a familiar, cheerful voice from the Vox. Shelby, the proto-speculator, sighs theatrically. You're hot on his heels, coming between him and his fortune. The cargo ships are just about to take off from the bountiful planet, but the rogue trader herself wishes to rudely interrupt their plans. But that's quite alright. Shelby sounds thrilled by the sudden competition. The elusive contempt's captain is ready for the next opportunity, and for now, he'll leave you in good company of his friends. You see the pirate flagship beginning to maneuver to escape into the warp. Don't let the insolent pirates escape. Fire a broadside. Or we can chase them. Let's fire a broadside at them. Starboard batteries light up. Firing a salvo, the missiles reach their target. Despite a direct hit, the elusive contempt managed to slip away once more, though it won't recover from the damage anytime soon. Alright, seems like it's going to be a long chain of encounters where we have to hunt this pirate that's been robbing our extractiums. Okay.
Ah, finally! Some real action!
Some real action. We have Claymore-class corvettes. These are different. Interesting. I've not seen these before. This all of them? The elusive contempt, is it still here? No. Alright, it's just us. Okay, and we're going first. I reckon we take out one flank. We overload one of the flanks here, so we're going to fly directly this way. Before we go there, I think I want to fly to here, and then drop off some torpedoes. We'll send them in straight.
Keep up the pressure.
Okay, torpedoes are out. We're just out of range there. We can't fly... We can fly further. But let's let's put some hurt onto this one. Unfortunately, that is going to hit the front, or the side broadsides. Sorry. So we can fly through our torpedoes.
Prepare for acceleration.
Okay. Now we can target the front broadsides.
Our fury.
The front broadsides? The prow, I should say. Let's hit it again.
Fire at will.
Lance. Very nice. So we're going to use our lances right here. Get some work done. Okay, that did damage. And then we have multiple maneuverability options that we can do. So we're going to go there. And then we're going to do a shallow warp jump. We are still just out of range, unfortunately. Damn it. Could reload our lances? No, that's focused efforts. Sorry, we cannot reload our lances. Alright, well, let's hope our torpedoes do their work. In any case, both of these vessels are damaged, so we did lose a melta torpedo. They're hammering our flank here. They actually dealt a bit of damage, so they pierced our shields, which is unfortunate. Okay, that one just exploded, and dealt a lot of damage to us. Like, a lot. How did that one explode? Did we have a damage over time on it? Okay. Yeah, unfortunately our torpedoes are a bit of a dud. That isn't gonna work. Best course of action, we send them down this way. I might be able to get a torpedo control and tag this claymore here, but I'm not sure that's even worth it. When am I going to use it again, though? Okay, that's it. Alright, never mind. That was not worth it. You can't do a full move. I forgot that. We need to... Do I do a swing run here now? I might. Before I do a swing run, I want to get some of these ships off of us. So that one's going to be forced to turn a little, so that's nice. These two are both... Yeah, we can do a swing run now. Wheel it around. And, I'm going to reinforce the prow. I think we're getting attacked from the prow. Anything we can do here? Not really. Right. Ah, we have to move again. Okay. That actually may be beneficial. It's only going to increase the range by 2. That's not going to be enough. Okay. Well... Let's hope this works.
Fade into nothing.
This is actually kind of a hard encounter. Yeah, there goes our torpedoes. Regrettably. They're coming around now. I think we're going to have to launch fighters. I don't relish our chances to fight 2 of these guys. So we're going to launch fighters after we move. I'm not going to do it right now. And I want to hunt one of these bastards down. So I think we're going to go this way. Unfortunately, both of our... blanks. No, I'm gonna go up, actually. That does put me... Where do I go down the middle? It's gonna be very risky. We can't do expeditious reload right now. Or we probably can soon, but... We could shallow jump to clear some distance, maybe? Yeah, you know what? That's fair. We can get through them. That'll force them to turn around again. So how about I go right here.
Engage the engines!
We're going to see what our guns can do. So our main gun, lances right now, can fire at... Yeah, unfortunately nobody has significant damage. I want to take this one out. Alright. Well, we took it out. Then let's try and take this one out. Okay. Can't do anything there. So I'm going to advance further. Right in the middle here. I am now going to launch fighters.
Let the void sort them out.
Yeah. Damn it. You are not in the right position.
Macro cannons.
You are, though.
Open fire.
So we could do... I could go right here. Why don't we do that?
Make every shot count.
Dealt a little more damage. We could do a reload. The slight problem we have right now, though, is if I reload, we are going to take damage if that ship explodes. I'm gonna do it regardless. Because we can take this one out.
Fire.
Right. Okay. And then I am going to, shallow jump. Lance can't do anything. Let's reinforce our rear shields. And our fighters can come right in here. Take them out. That's going to hit the rear, actually. That's unfortunate. But it's a bit of damage. Fly around. Because he's going to come around, presumably down that way. He might go up and over that way, in which case that'll be unfortunate. No. Alright. As expected. And I'm fine with him shooting at our fighters. Good. Oh, that hit our fucking side? Oh, man. Okay. We need a new heading. So let's swing him around. We'll swing him around right here.
Coordinates set.
Hard turn that. Get our lances in. We're going to have to cut through the prow shields here, but that shouldn't be too hard.
Force of a supernova. Launch batteries.
Goodbye.
Volley.
Okay, we did it.
Victory is ours.
Upgrade. Yes, please. Alright, that was a bit of a rough fight. That one exploding on us did a number. Alright, well, we got some new abilities here, so we could do extra flight control cogitators. Allows the void ship to control +1 extra wing for each attack craft type. Okay. Heavy void craft armor. Each attack craft launched from the torpedo tubes gains +1 hull integrity. Torpedoes and attack craft gain 60% evasion against enemy attack crafts attacks and 20% evasion against all other attacks. That's pretty good. I want silent running, actually. We can get another one, too, so... let's take it all. It could be good. Shield pulse? Ah, yeah, that one. We know that. I'm going to take the extra flight control vectors. Okay. Looking good. How are our posts? I am the Supreme Commander. We could make Jai the Supreme Commander. I can't upgrade this until I used focused efforts. Shield Master? No, we'll leave Pascal as the Shield Master. Master of Maneuvers will remain Abelard. Warp Channel is, of course, still going to be Adira. And the Master of Etherics. Arc Augury. Yeah, this is still just Arc Augury. I don't know when we're going to get those secondary abilities there. Right. We've got to upgrade, or sorry, repair the hull, so that's going to cost us 58 scrap. We have a lot of scrap, though, so that's okay. Let's do that. I wish it said what the fighters did. Like, what the difference here is. These are the Wrath Fighters, these are the Fury Interceptors. I'm assuming because these have the gold coloration that they're better. But I don't know that for certain. Still can't upgrade this. I have to use the ability. I could have sworn I did at one point, but apparently not. So, that's alright. Could upgrade the RAM, I'm not going to do that. We'll wait until we can upgrade the hull. 860. Okay, let's head to this dead world. We have here a rocky world where we could get some adamantium. I do have 23 adamantium, so I'm not overly concerned about that right now. So, we're going to check out this dead world. There's something going on here. Oh, we can land here. Unidentified ruins. Sure. Sure. Who are we gonna bring? Let's bring Marazai, let's bring Jai. Let's bring Pascal. We'll leave Cassia behind this time. I mean, she was really good, and we'll leave Ulfar behind. I think I'm gonna bring Irliet. And... who else might be handy with unidentified ruins? Abelard has the ship. No, I'm gonna bring him. I'm going to bring him because I need to equip him with an item. Yes, I could do that in the bridge, but may as well bring him along, and I'm also going to level Irliet and Abelard up. Okay, I feel like we've been here before. But it did say unidentified. Okay, Irliet will get more ballistic skill, because 75 is actually surprisingly low. First tier archetype. So, ballistics calculation. If the operative attacks a target affected by an exploit from a distance of 5 cells or further, that attack gains plus 15% damage. I mean, that's like always for her, so let's do that. Abelard, more weapon skill? What's your weapon skill? 75. Let's bring it up to 80. Okay. Clenched teeth. That's pretty good. 8 damage deflection is not nothing. Contempt is pretty good. It's going to affect his counterattacks, and he does a lot of counterattacks. Okay, the warrior, if the warrior is not attacked this turn, they gain plus 26% armor. That is pretty good. Okay. Disarm is also pretty good. That is very mediocre. Center of slaughter. I mean, if you need temporary hit points in order to trigger abilities, then I guess it's fine, but he's got plenty of ways to get temporary hit points. Living Shield is alright. We don't want that. Reckless Fury? Guaranteed critical hit. That's kind of fun. I think we're going to do that. Alright. So we'll quickly check here. There were some boots. Enforcer light boots. Where of these gates? 14% parry. What is your parry? It's 95. Yee. And rerolls failed dodge tests. I think I'm going to go with these, though. And do we want to equip one of these mauls? I think I do. Instead of the axe? The maul knocks people prone. Yes, this does bleeds. The deciding factor here is that I like the look of the maul a lot more than I like the look of the axe. I can't stand double-headed axes. There is basically no reason to have 2 axe blades on an axe. Put something else on the other side. It reduces the weight, and it gives you some versatility options. You can't swing with both sides anyways, and it doesn't take much effort to twist it around in your hand for a backswing. I don't know why Fantasy has decided that double-headed axes are what is needed every time. This mace looks pretty good. Is it a little oversized? Yes, but not that much oversized. Looks fine. Love it. A good old flanged mace. You won't ever hear me complain about a reasonably sized flanged mace. Tinted phylactery. Nah. Okay. His armor is, I think, the best armor we're going to get for him at the moment until we give him power armor, and I would like to give him power armor. That would be fun. Okay.
Is there money to be made?
Ah, this is the energy beam thing. So, what is with all of these areas that...
Nothing matters more.
Like, when we went here before... and left, I don't believe we could come back to them. It might be that we're gonna get another item out of this. Unless there's more ways to redirect the energy beam. Maybe that's a thing we can now do. Hold on, I'm going to...
We are the spearhead of the Imperium.
Fiddle around with this again, because this... Maybe we can interact with this again. I don't know. What's the symbol? We need to make a Chaos Star. Or a Satan Star, sorry. That goes from the middle? Yeah, I don't know exactly. So that's going like that. We need to direct this one towards there, yes. Hold on, that is going... No, we need to redirect this beam too. This is incorrect. This needs to go up there, yeah, alright. I fucked this up already. And that goes there. We'll see. I don't think it's going to do anything else, but you never know.
Light of terror, guide our way.
The fact that we can interact with it again is of interest. So we're going to interact with it again. Yeah. Yeah, okay. We don't get anything from it. Yeah, screw it. Alright,
Always keep your eye on the
I guess we'll
prize.
see if we get a random item again when we leave. That might be the reason why these things are unlocking again, but no, not this time. Weird. Let's go back to the capital. And hopefully nothing interrupts us. So I want to actually land there and do Kibella's quest. A trickle of disturbing news came from the Navigator's sanctum over the last few days. Allegedly, there is a vast shadow following the void ship through the depths of the Sea of Souls. Mere hours before emerging in real space, the vessel shuddered. An unidentified leviathan had emerged from the roiling warp, wrapped its tentacles around the ship, and started squeezing, trying to crack the hull like an egg. Wow, we took 60 damage there. The void ship crew did everything they could to release the vessel from the nightmarish creature's grasp. The bulkheads groaned and snapped. Entire chambers were depressurized. The screams of people left alone with the warp spawn made Vox operators go mad as their hair turned gray. At last, the Navigator executed an emergency translation to real space, and only the opening of the escape portal made the unknown aggressor retreat. Well, that was brutal. Void ship management. Let's fix the damage again. More scrap to be spent, and up to Mundus Valancius. Long last. Home, sort of. As much a home as Cyrene's ever known, at the very least. Psyker that she was. So, we are here. We may as well at least do another construction. Restoration of the fleet. That would give us the Longfang macro battery. We do a couple of other things here. Do we need mechanisms? Not really. We don't really need provisions either. Long overdue refurbishment, maneuvering drives. Yeah, let's just do that. Having been informed of the opportunity by the Master Helmsman, yeah, the Rogue Trader takes advantage of their stay in orbit around Dargunus to put into the docks and have upgraded modules installed on the flagship. Alright, we'll do that. Okay. And, oh yeah, we gotta land. So we did that. Got our frag grenade. And, let's head down to the surface. So who are we gonna bring? We're bringing Abelard. We are bringing Kibella. We're absolutely not bringing Marazai. Should we bring Heinrichs? Let's bring Argenta, at the very least. I think I do want to bring Cassia. And we gotta have somebody with tech stuff, so... Jai or Pascal? Let's bring Pascal. We got enough officers. Again, I'm bringing people purely based on, or almost purely based on, like, who would be more interesting to bring for narrative reasons. Or who do I think will have the most narrative interaction with certain stories, rather than, like, what's going to compose a good team. Because I'm pretty sure we can bring any of the characters, and it's going to compose an effective team. I'm honestly considering bringing the difficulty up again. We shall see. We'll do one more encounter, and if we blaze through it, then I'm gonna crank the difficulty up to unfair. Or whatever. What are we at, actually? Let me check. Difficulty. Yeah, we're on hard. I said we were gonna wait another encounter. I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go all the way. The Erebises, huh? Well, there's Kibella. Maybe we gotta talk to her. Okay, whatever you say. Janus messengers? I don't think there's much to be said here. What does Earliad have to say? Yeah, she doesn't like it here so much. That's fair. We liked it on Janus quite a bit better. There's a fountain that we can interact with. Glinting light at the bottom. The coin falls into the clear water and sinks to the bottom. Okay, we can throw coins into the fountain. How many coins is it going to take before we lose a profit factor? I reckon we'd be here for the rest of our natural lives. Clicking that button before we lose a profit factor from throwing coins into the fountain. So maybe let's not try that. You know, if we get completely trounced in the next encounter, and I feel like there's just no way to move for it, then I reserve the right to change back to hard. But I don't mind if we lose a few times. It'll put the fear of the warp back into us. We have grown overconfident in our ways, I must say. I have. I say we like it's all of your guys' problem, but I just like to, you know, share the blame with everyone. Clementia, Wersarian, Hira. Not really sure who we're supposed to talk to. Ah. The Erebises. Here we go. Perfect.
Your ladyship, I have been told that you summoned the Erebis family to your court. Your subjects in question, along with their 4 offspring, have already arrived at the palace. They will attend the reception honoring your return to the capital world. Announce that the reception is starting. I am ready to receive the Erebis family. As you wish, your ladyship.
Yeah. Actually, Idira and Heinrichs might be good to have here, too. Okay, we're gonna do it that way. And then I will level everyone. Sorry for changing my mind.
Your ladyship, allow me to introduce the next guests. Protectors of the Dargonus from the void between the stars.
So they're a naval family?
Randor and Zioni of House Erebis, along with their heirs, Mattis, Lorna, Rono, and Lumi Erebis. Glory to the dynasty.
Who did we need to kill? I don't think it was one of them. Officers Randor and Naaki Erebis make the sign of the Aquila, reverent expressions on their battle-scarred faces. Beside them are their children, raised to love the God Emperor. They are mild-mannered, but fascinated by their new surroundings. Judging by their uniforms, the two eldest children are already members of the Dargonis Planetary Guard. Oh, nice. Your ladyship, it is a great honor for House Erebis to be invited to your palace. There is a glimpse of distinct anxiety in Randor Erebis's eyes. She only touches her husband's palm ever so slightly, gives him a reassuring nod, then addresses you. As a token of our greatest reverence for the von Valancius dynasty, allow me to present you with a modest family relic of the Erebis clan. May it serve you faithfully. Voidborn's pride. Whenever the wearer kills an enemy, their Medicae increases by 24 until the end of combat stacks. Oh my god! Well, we know who that's going to. Oh no. How is House Erebis faring on Dargonis? We are delighted by the favor shown to us, your ladyship. Life in the capital is much calmer and slower compared to the ship, and I have almost gotten used to the gravity. The prosthetics supporting Randor's spine creaks under his clothes as he attempts an awkward bow. Yeah, Voidborn, live their life in lower gravity. Kibella whispers, just barely audible. A crowd, the Domin's attention, and this being their first visit to the palace. They are nervous. You must give these people time. Let them get accustomed to these surroundings and to your presence. Let them wander around the hall and taste the food. We will talk to each one individually. As the Erebis parents notice a bloodspun web cultist at your side, they exchange glances. An almost imperceptible tension hangs in the air. Are you finding the reception to your liking? Of course they're going to say yes. Naaki Erebis says, It is beyond all our expectations. We could not have dreamt of something like this, to be honest. Even just permission to settle on Dargonis and continue our service on the dynasty's capital world was a most gracious gesture on Lady Theodora's part. We did not expect any further attention. She only smiles gently, but her fingers are fidgeting with her heirloom pendant. Let us enjoy the evening. Join the guests. We will talk later. Of course, your ladyship. We are available for you at any time. Alright. Well, let's level her up while we're at it. More weapon skill. Naturally. She doesn't have that much toughness, so we don't necessarily need that. Okay, that's alright. It's bouncing on the edge. The Blade Dancer can use both a Desperate Measure and a Heroic Act in the same combat. When the Blade Dancer uses a Desperate Measure, they gain plus 10 weapon skill and 3 resolve. Maybe. Okay, that's pretty nice. She does have some abilities that cost wounds. Whenever the Blade Dancer kills an enemy, her resolve is increased by 1 until the end of combat. That's pretty good. As long as the Blade Dancer has 2 swords equipped, the Blade Dancer's weapon skill is increased by the agility bonus. That's okay. The Blade Dancer deals an additional 5... Ooh. That's nice. It's extra damage against melee enemies. Whenever the Blade Dancer dodges an attack made by an enemy who attacks them for the first time, the Blade Dancer gains plus 1 charge of death from above. I'm going to do that. That's really good. Getting more charges of that is really nice. So it's just Kibella and I. Let me make sure Kibella has this item that we just got. This is awesome. I'm going to swap out the Mysterious Orb. And do I just equip this? No, these 2 items are too good. We'll find somebody else to give this to. For now, what do you have sword-wise? You have the Soul Pattern Power Sword and the Dueling Sword. Neither of them are that good. Because we do need to find her better items, but, like, she needs swords. I could give her the Xenos Blades. I might do that. So that would, you know, solve the not good weapon problem pretty handily. Oh, she doesn't have a helmet. What the hell? Let me give her a helmet. Well, there's the Face of the Sovereign. Is she iconoclast? I thought she was dogmatic. We're gonna check that in just a sec. Okay, enemy... Oh, the wearer's shots. Yeah, that's not relevant. Huh. No. No. I think it's going to be the face of the Sovereign. Also, it works for her. Not sure why it unequipped her hat, but whatever.
Let us not dawdle.
Yeah, let's not dawdle. Lorna Erebis, Lumi Erebis, and Rono Erebis. These are the kids. And we need to kill... Who now? Naaki. That was it.
You're pressing down too hard on your quill, Lumi. Look how thick your lines are. And the ink hasn't dried. Mother will be livid when she sees this stain on my cuff. Why don't you watch what you're doing instead of lecturing me again? How many times has Master Rockbard said, apply the base colors first, then the darker shades?
The Erebus children are leaning over a sheet of parchment, arguing passionately. A small, finely made box next to them contains quills and a few bottles of ink. Kibella's shadow hangs over the younger Erebises. Her unblinking gaze carefully studies the unfinished drawing and grows gloomier still. Yeah, she's not looking forward to having to kill one of them. They seem like a nice family.
Your ladyship, we are honored to be at the Von Valancius Palace. I am Lorna Erebis.
A pale young woman, slightly shorter than Kibella, smooths her lock of dark hair nervously as she stands between her younger siblings and the spinner. Let's look at the drawing. Damn, failed. Yeah, we're suffering some skill penalties because of the difficulty. The parchment is an unfinished family portrait showing the Erebus parents and their 4 children. The younger... 4 children, huh? The younger artist's skill is impressive. There's only 3 of them here.
Our family was once renowned for their courage, but Dargonis has no need for boarding teams, so our parents enrolled Rono and Lumi in the scriptorium to study religious painting. That scrap of parchment must be incredibly special. I see no other reason for your brother and sister to be ignoring the rogue trader.
Lorna grabs her younger siblings' collars and makes them bow guiltily.
My apologies, your ladyship. I am to blame. Lumi and Rono tend to get far too engrossed in their work, but I will see to it that they do not forget their manners again. Glory to the Von Valancius Protectorate.
And to the rogue trader, ruler of 1,000 stars.
Alright, enjoy the reception. Thank you for your hospitality, your ladyship.
Kibella casts a final glance at the portrait, then quietly walks away. Yeah, she saw something.
You are dazzling, your ladyship. It's like you've stepped out of a temple painting,
says Lumi.
Your ladyship, I will study hard so one day I can earn the honor of painting your portrait. Rono and Lumi spend their every spare moment practicing. Diligence truly does seem to run in the family.
Diligence truly does run in the family, it seems. Yeah. Okay. Got some servants there. I don't think we can talk to any of them. We're going to have to look for Naaki. I don't think Naaki is going to be here. Other aristocrats, we can just highlight them like this. No, actually, that doesn't help. We'll have to hover over them. Naaki Erebis. Are you the... hold on, you might be the 4th child, actually.
Your ladyship, senior Lieutenant Naaki Erebis at your service.
The tall, dark-haired young man enunciates sharply as he salutes you with great fervor. Breathless from his own audacity, he blurts out,
I hope I don't sound too bold if I say I've always dreamt of serving on your flagship. Would it be too much for a modest servant of the dynasty to hope that the Lord Captain might graciously take him part of her crew?
Kibella soundlessly appears at your side. Her face is reflected in Mattis's dark eyes. As their gazes meet, they both freeze in astonishment and lower their heads. She's... I have the feeling she's actually one of them. Because she doesn't know who her actual family is. I feel like the Erebises, or she might actually be related to the Erebises. If Kibella had enough to eat growing up, if she had not put her body through the grueling trials, if she had not used intoxicants during the cult's rituals, he might have said the two bore quite the resemblance to each other. Yup. Mattis looks away first.
Pardon my tactlessness, mistress. He clears his throat. I have the strangest feeling that we have met before.
You're Naaki Erebis, aren't you? I hope not. That's going to be a problem.
You were born on a world and absorbed a hive sense.
I would have remembered someone who smelled like that. I do not know you. Do you believe yourself fit to serve on the flagship? I have served dutifully in the planetary forces, your ladyship. Governor Drivestem even awarded me a medal for defending the Southern Hive against the Xenos. I might have been born on a gravity-bound world, but my heart belongs to the void. So your reasons are your unflinching courage and your love of the stars. There is another reason, your ladyship, but I am afraid you will find it laughable. You see, I've always known my destiny awaits me on the flagship, because ever since I was a child, I've had the same dream over and over again. A dark-haired young woman walking barefoot along the decks, and me following in her footsteps. I would run, but never catch up to her.
Dark-haired woman, huh?
My father told me he had felt something of the sort when he met my mother.
Mattis's eyes take in Kibella's features. He smiles sadly.
I believe my future awaits me there.
Okay, let's let destiny play its course.
Very well. I accept you into my service. This is truly an honor for me, Lord Captain. I will not let you down. Glory to House von Valancius. Let us go, Kibella whispers softly. I've heard and seen all I needed to.
Hold on, I want to talk to the parents again.
Your ladyship, allow us to thank you once again for this honor. Though we left the flagship a long time ago, it is a pleasure to be in the presence of a Lord Captain again.
Yeah, so they were on the flagship before. She only looks at you with a pensive, unblinking gaze. Also, they do, like, she looks very similar. I can't scroll because my scroller's broken, but black, very black hair, quite pale. Sione looks at you with a pensive, unblinking gaze, her eyes darker than the night sky.
We realize that your attention to House Erebis was brought on by some manner of circumstance. Please let us know how we can be of service to you, and we will do what you require. A keen observation.
Randor's eyes meet Kibella's as she speaks, but he is not intimidated. On the contrary, the corner of his mouth curves upward slightly, and he gives a respectful nod.
Tell me about the Erebis family.
Sadly, we are but a shadow of what was once a much larger and more numerous clan. Most of our kinspeople fell in combat, but we believe the Erebis' last battle is yet to be fought. We raise cohorts of successors, we teach new recruits, and our own children, the ins and outs of void service before they even set foot on board. The new generation are learning to serve in their own way.
Our eldest son, Mattis, is on the planetary guard. So is Lorna, our eldest daughter, though she has devoted herself to medicine. And to my great surprise and elation, our younger children, Rono and Lumi, have found their vocation in serving the God Emperor and the Ecclesiarchy. From this point forward, Mattis will serve on my ship. He is the pride of the Erebis family, its blood, its essence. We are delighted for him to serve you as we used to serve Lady Theodora.
Enough. Kibella's cold, raspy voice sends a shiver down your spine. Ooh. What's she gonna do? Kibella's cry brings the Erebis family back together. 6 alarmed faces. 6 people standing shoulder to shoulder like a fortress wall. And 1 lone, grim figure opposite to them. The shadows peer into their dark eyes, the same as her own. Their pale lips, the same as her own. She clenches her fists, ignoring the steel claws that pierce her palms.
Enough. I know who Naaki Erebis is.
Her unblinking gaze turns to you. And so do I.
Naaki.
Naaki Erebis looks at Kibella with scarcely concealed fear, but her husband notices her reaction and shakes his head in warning.
No!
Mattis screams.
How could you keep something like that to yourselves? How could you...
Lorna hugs her younger brother and sister, who cast frightened glances at their parents and the sinister woman with the wry smile.
Naaki Erebis.
Kibella throws back her head, and her laughter resonates through the hall.
Naaki Erebis is me.
I'm gonna observe silently.
You said the Undying One had taken Naaki, but death whispered her name only a short while ago. Whispered. The God Emperor demands a great sacrifice, yet it makes serving him all the more honorable.
Shione's voice trembles as she turns to her husband for strength and support. Okay, so they all, like, know of the spinners. I mean, they come from the flagship, so that makes sense. They must have been part of them, or something.
A few years before Lady Theodora sent our clan's survivors to Dargonus, the Bloodspun's Web's vizier came to our bay. He said the Emperor demanded the next firstborn of the Erebis clan, that he needed a new spinner. 6 months later, we had twins, a boy and a girl with eyes darker than darkness itself.
Shione smiles tenderly at Kibella.
You were born first, Naaki, and with sorrow and pride we gave the vizier our most precious treasure. For that is how one honors the God Emperor. A difficult choice, but a righteous and devout one.
I'm saying that not necessarily because I believe it. I'm still a bit sus of the Bloodspun Web, even though I'm a member of it. More saying it to make them feel more vindicated in this choice. Make them feel like they did the right thing. To hopefully help quash any guilt with them. I like this family. I hope nothing bad happens to them.
The most difficult one in our lives.
Ah, God, I keep fucking up the voices.
The most difficult one in our lives, your ladyship. But we knew our daughter was alive and serving the faith, and as mysterious and bloody as the ways of this service were, they were ways that pleased the Emperor. So, if I had been born a minute earlier, that animated corpse standing before you today would have been me.
Mattis recoils from his parents.
But why doesn't she remember anything? Why was she never told? The ritual of releasing the burden.
Kibella steps up to her brother, who is so completely like her, and yet so thoroughly different.
New Bloodspun Web recruits undergo it in order to forget their past and devote themselves to the Undying One. And so that their souls do not suffer. Tell me, Mattis, is your soul in pain? It only hurts because I never knew you all these years.
Kibella turns to you sharply.
We are here to settle our debt to the Undying One. We now have the name, the person, and the explanation. I know what must be done. So why do I feel pain from an unseen wound in my heart? Why am I, for the first time in my life, hesitant to sever a thread? All this time, I have been wandering in the labyrinth of my mind. The answer never came to me. What must I do, Dolmen? How do I end Naaki Erebis?
Not that. Oh boy. This vision... It's from inside her own mind. This might be some sort of repressed memory that has come up. It might not be anything divine. This might just be a psychic manifestation of a repressed memory that feels some measure of guilt. Or is... maybe it's not guilt. Maybe it's something else. Because she was taken away from her family, and while it kind of insinuated that she was taken away as an infant, the fact that they're kind of assuming that she should have remembered them leads me to think that she wasn't taken away as an infant, but rather, maybe the Vizier came to collect her later. And then whatever ritual happened kind of erased her memories, or at least blocked them. These memories are in her. She was clearly trained in this brutal, horrendous, cult, which indoctrinated her, and this likely warped her mind to a significant degree, which is leading me to think that the whole kill Naaki Erebis is meant as her own mind trying to sever the last connections that she has to any form of her past, because the past, in one way or another, is still tormenting her. Like, on a deep psychological level, even if she can't remember it, it's still poisoning her thoughts. And this is her mind basically saying the only way that you can stop this torment is to kill every last remnant of your past. So I think it wants her to do one of these above 3 options. This all involves killing the whole family. And she's under the influence that this is the Emperor telling her to do so. But I think it's some kind of psychological wound that she is then perceiving as the Emperor. I mean, divination and this sort of communion stuff is real, so you can't know for certain. It could be the Emperor telling her to do it. Is this going to make her kill herself? If you give her the choice... I really hope we get to rebound from this. Because this is telling her what to do. I want her to make that decision herself. But if we give her the decision herself right now, she might act on impulse. Whereas with this, we might be able to guide her. But I'm also afraid that she's just going to... Let's try it. I really hope the Erebis family doesn't get massacred here. You cannot kill your past. You can destroy the people who are connected to it, but are you truly prepared to murder innocent people just to cut yourself free? Kibela, dismayed, looks first at the Erebis family, then at you, then at her own reflection in the steel of her dagger. I will not kill. Must I follow my orders when my entire nature shrinks from it and my heart screams it is wrong? This is not my will. Yeah, that's good. I would have had a family and a future full of righteous service, a chance for a different life. That was taken from me. Who I would be and how I would serve was decided for me. She clenches her fist. The Vizier forged me into a weapon and stained it with blood. He named a mark. He gave a mission. Come, Domin. We must descend into the Temple of Death, where I will report on my task and ask the Vizier a single question. Why me? Yeah, good. Let's start asking questions. You have grown into a fine woman, Naaki. And though you may be lost now, I know the Emperor will point you right. We are proud of you. Yeah, good. The corners of her eyes twitch, as though she is in pain. My name is Kibela. This is good. This is really good. Kibela's story it might be the best one. I really liked Iliet's story, and we haven't gotten enough of the other ones to necessarily compare the rest. I hope there's going to be more. Like, we've gotten a little bit of Abelard and, who else? Marazai. I mean, ultimately, we're only partway through everyone's stories. The only one whose story I feel like we have made very significant progress with now is Kibela and Iliet. I reckon Kibela is going to have a lot more, because she's a DLC character, and I imagine there's probably going to be a more emphasis on her, because she's kind of the focus of the DLC, which is great. No complaints. DLC that adds new NPC with good, compelling story is a good DLC in my opinion. If more stuff comes along with it, even better. But yeah, I'm loving it. This is good. And her story is cool. Kibella's awesome. Maybe my favorite NPC. Gives me a lot of faith in Owlcat. I wonder what the Arbite NPC is going to be. And what other DLCs they come up with. I love that they're also, like, asking. There was a questionnaire of what would be in your dream DLC, and you had to, like, pick 5 options every time, and it's like, all of the options were just like, yes, 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 fuck, I'm already at 5. Gotta pick and choose. And, you know, they were asking about, like, what would be a cool, antagonists, and I saw Yuvath on there, and I picked Yuvath, because the Yuvath are fucking cool. And I hope we get them. I doubt we will, because they're very unknown, but they're like this crystalline alien civilization. They're crystalline now, they weren't always, but they're basically like what is on the Kardashev scale, a civilization that has transcended its need for organic flesh, and they've basically uploaded themselves into some sort of machine, or in this case, crystalline matrix, but like the whole thing is just corrupted by chaos. So this species, the Yuvath, are like they're kind of this like cognito hazard-like species that they just, knowing about them causes problems, so you're welcome. And they're just super insidious. I don't remember the details, but I remember reading through the little Rogue Trader manual book that came up. It came with the main rulebook when I bought it back in the day, and yeah, there was a whole like prefab adventure for the Yuvath. I never do prefab adventures when I GM, but it was cool to read about. It was a lot of really cool lore, and they just seemed awesome, and I hope we get them. Also, first season of Astartes, I may be in the minority. Actually, I don't know if I'm in the minority, because I don't know how many people actually have theories on what the fuck was going on in the first season of Astartes. That was that YouTube series, short one. I believe the antagonists in that are the Yuvath, but I could be wrong. Anyways, let's leave. We're gonna go to the guy. But we're at 57 minutes, so I think we're gonna end the episode here. So, drop this video a like if you have enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one, where we're going to head down to the Bloodspun web and ask, why Kibella? I want answers from the Vizier as much as she does, because I like Kibella, and I don't like seeing her be tormented by her own past, and I'm really glad we didn't have to kill the Erebises, because they seem like good people. So, yeah. Drop this video a like if you've enjoyed it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Heritor out.